You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Thank y'all for joining the chat room. Thank y'all for joining the chat room. Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk. Intelligent shit talk. Where we balance the profound with the profane. We talk a little shit. Then we give you some lessons within the shit talk. Because everything that happens in life has a learning lesson. If it vibrates with you, if it affects you in any sort of way, that means there is some lesson to be learned out of that. So today we are going to learn some lessons and talk about useless black blue check Twitter. These niggas. Salute Unsunken One. What's up, Bossa Queenie? What's up, Poppin'? What's up, Deep Impressions? Tasha. Somebody's name is Peace Be Still. I remember that song in church. Peace be still. Doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. Peace be still. Man, the choir be getting that song when you go to church. I be feeling like I'm about to go to heaven in 16 seconds when that song come on. What's up, Say What? What's up, Tracy Simmons? Malik Xavier. OG Hershey Low. Nigga name is OG Hershey Low. That name is funny as hell. What's up, hey, Nikki? What's up, Ivor? Salute to Ivor. I like people like Ivor, man. People, see, that's why we could talk our shit And I can go back and forth sometime in my chat room and motherfuckers still come back because it ain't never personal. Sometimes people say things and you be like, hey, man, that ain't what it is. This is my opinion. This is my perspective. And like grown ass men, you can give your difference in perspective and still have respect for one another. Hotep Ali Hemet. Hell yeah, I'm the choir be getting deep with that one. Peace be still. Peace be still. I used to be on church on the drums on that song. Getting it on the drums. It's in the pocket. Peace be still. What's up, Corbett Goodwin? What's up, Ref Goes B1? B1 to all y'all. Black First. And yes, this is a Black First podcast. This is a Black First show. We put the interests of black people, black society, ahead of a lot of other things. Black first. Black first meaning if you black, you put yourself first. And then once you put yourself first, you then go to the greater good of your society. Because the society ain't gonna be good with one nigga that got it and everybody else struggling. You gotta get it yourself and then help other those that look like you get theirs too, so we can be strong together. I'm about to go into this yesterday's exchange I had with DL Hewley on Twitter. But I'm not going to keep it on DL. I'm going to use DL as a learning lesson. Because it's not just DL. It's basically most of black blue check Twitter. We're going to tie it into how propaganda is worked. How it was used in Nazi Germany versus how it's being used now. And we're going to dive into a little bit of the character of some of these people that got these blue checks and ask ourselves, do we really want to fuck with these people when you listen to them real close? You dig? He said, my boss said hi loud. So yeah, for those of you unaware, I'm suspended on Twitter for a week because DL Hewley reported me. But before I get too deep into it, I want to first say rest in peace to Latasha Harlins. She was killed 30 years ago this week, March 15th. March 16th. No, I'm sorry, March 15th, 1991. I was 9 years old when that murder happened, growing up here in South Central LA. I knew the store where she got shot and killed. This right here is what changed me forever. People always ask, Dwan, how did you get so conscious? Was it how you grew up? No, it wasn't how I grew up. I love my parents, but my parents were never the ones that were they were always socially conscious, but they were never ones to really push the way I push. They just, I got this came from inside of me, When I saw this woman, Latasha Harlins, getting murdered, and then the lady who killed her got probation, 6 months probation. And then that December, Boys in the Hood dropped. And Boys in the Hood was filmed in the neighborhood I grew up in. As a child, I rode my bike down to Crenshaw and Rodeo for that scene. Remember that scene where Morris Chestnut got bumped by Ferris? He was like, "Where you walking into, nigga?" I said, "I don't know, Vigor." Matter of fact, that was like the worst comeback line ever. "I don't know what I'm looking at, Vigor." That comeback line was horrible. But I remember being a kid riding my bike down to that scene. And then a few months after the Boys in the Hood came out, the LA riots happened. All this between the ages of 9 and 10. And I got to see what white supremacy is, what anti-black racism is. And I got to see at a young age, white supremacy is something that other groups who aren't necessarily white still participate in. Because in America, the way to social acceptance for other groups is how bad they treat the Negroes. This is true when there was heavy Irish, Italian immigration at the top of the century. This is true when there was heavy German immigration throughout the 1800s. This is true when there was heavy British immigration throughout the 1700s. If you're new to this country, the fast track to social acceptance is how bad you treat the Negroes. I'm starting off with Latasha Harlins as a foundation to everything I'm going to talk about regarding this D.L. Hughley situation and other people on Black Blue Check Twitter. Yes, Lorenzo Wright, even black immigrants subscribe to that ideology. Very true. That's always been the way to social acceptance in the United States. Same with Black Blue Check Twitter. The people who are in the mainstream. The people who get the TV commercials, the movies, the radio shows, anything through the mainstream. I'm not saying all, but I am saying too goddamn many. See, when black people are the ones getting fucked up, I never one time in my life saw the Asian community rally and say we must stop anti-black racism within our community. After Latasha Harlins, you could bring up when Peter Liang killed Akai Gurley down there in New York. What did the Asians do? They rallied and said, get Peter Liang out of jail, because if he was a white cop, it would have been okay. And Coon Ken Thompson, the judge, didn't give Peter Liang any jail time. And Ken Thompson croaked about a year or two later. As a black man, I'm tired of what we go through being marginalized. And I'm tired of people who get a little bit of something, a little bit of notoriety. They black, biggity black, blackity biggity black, bliggity black. On the surface level. But when it comes down to it, are they really? Are these people with blue checks, are they put in front of this is the question I pose to you guys. Are the people that we know that get the majority of the mainstream media access, are they put there as a buffer to speak for black society and repeat things that only white liberals will agree with? That's the question I pose as I go into my exchange with D.L. Hughley. Now, I know people who know him really close, and I've seen him around, but I know this is going to get back to him somehow, so I will start off by saying there's nothing personal that I harbor here. Look, when it comes to life, when it comes to these things that happen in the media, I do not take anything personal. This is all a game being played out in front of us. I don't take the game personal. I don't hate the players, but I use the players as examples to uncover the game. You dig? So we are about to talk about the game that is Black Blue Check Twitter and how they are used to undermine the greater interests of black society. Again, Rest in peace to the Queen, Latasha Harlins. She gave her life, but Black LA stood up for her, and her name must always be remembered as somebody who gave her life for a greater cause. I'm not saying that was her intention, but what I am saying is those of us who survive and live on, we will always remember your name, Latasha Harlins, and use your name as an example of how Black people are mistreated and how we can then come together as a group to right the wrongs. No. I'm not saying I'm not over here being hyperbolic. I'm not going to ease up on DL. I'm going to go in on DL. But again, it's not about DL. This is about DL is just a pawn. He's just a pawn. He's a pawn. All right? So let's get into the tweets that got all this shit started. I'm trying to pull up the right tweets. I'm going to go into how this all got started. This all got started when I played D.L. Hewley made this tweet. Where is it? Nah, it's not that one. I have all kinds of shit here. I don't have none of my shit lined up. I got this shit random like a motherfucker. Hold on. Here it is. This is the tweet that got me suspended from Twitter for a week. When I told D.L. Hewley I know what a self-hating Negro turns into once white supremacy is done with them. Because he tried to come at me with some jokes. But I got better jokes. He hasn't had to be funny in a long time. He gets people who writes for him. So he hasn't had to bring it on his own in about 20 or 30 years. I fucks with 1991 Comic View D.L. Hewley. I used to come home from school. Matter of fact, when Latasha Harlins got killed, I was watching Comic View when I found that out. I was watching D.L. Hewley host Comic View. I thought he was funny back then. But anyway, he put this tweet up. Assault against Asians are on the rise. Since that China virus slur, there have been attacks on people who are from Taiwan, Vietnam, Korea, and the Philippines. If you're such an excuse for, if you're such a fucked up excuse for a human being that you want to commit crimes, learn geography. So basically, he sends out a tweet where he's defending Asians. Mind you, I don't remember any of them coming to his back. I don't remember any of these people coming to defend him when his family was being assaulted. And my heart went out to him. His family, they live in Calabasas, and the Calabasas police was fucking with him and his people. Black people rallied for DL. Like, man, that's fucked up. I didn't see any Asians rallying for him, however. But that's another story. He's doing a post about geography. So I told him, look, man, you a straight up coon. All this shit going on with black folks, and you caping for them. And I played this video right here. Listen to it. Watch this. You see this video, for those listening on Spotify, it's these Asians in a nail shop, about 5 or 6 of them, beating the shit out of these black women. So I posted this under his geography tweet. Like, you caping for this? And this how they treat our women? Are you serious? Are you serious? He got mad. So is that tweet? The next tweet, I responded to him, what about this? George Floyd laid out on the street. And look who was guarding Derek Chauvin. Looks pretty Asian to me. And I don't have any issues with Asians on an individual level. I don't have any individuals, I've never had any problems other than walking in. See, I'm born and raised in LA. The last issues I had with Asians going into a liquor store was before the riots. Because when I was a kid, they was always, hoodie up and buy. Talking shit. The riots straightened that shit out real fast. So here in LA, we don't have too many Asians fucking with us like that in the liquor stores. Because they know what we'll do to their motherfucking ass. They don't want that heat. So he goes in calling me. He sends his tweet. And now mind you, DL deleted a lot of my responses. He kept what he said up so he can look good. But when I was tagging his motherfucking ass, he deleted it. So I don't have all of my tweets. I only have some of them. I only have the few I screenshot before he deleted. He said, you can't even see your feet, fat boy. Obviously, you can't see the point. I said, you don't have a point. Because you're a professional white ass kisser. Salute to John Henry Clark. Then he hits me back with some old weak ass. And your fat ass is a professional Hershey kiss eater. Huh? That's not even funny. So he starts calling me fat. So I said, hey, look, man. And he deleted this tweet. I said, yeah, I may be fat, but all my stomach turned into dick. Ask your mama. He deleted that shit fast. See, I didn't even know he had responded to me at first because I sent that tweet out. Then I called, Larry, my nigga. I called Larry up. Me and Larry just shooting the shit. And I get all these notifications on my phone. And I'm like, DL Hughley, this nigga going ham on me. So he tries to tell me I don't know anything about geography. I guess because I'm fat and I can't see his stomach. Over my stomach. And so he says, I know what turned into diabetes. And so when he said, my response to him, again, you can't see that part because it's deleted. He says, I know what turns into diabetes. Then my response to that was, I know what a self-hating Negro turns into once white supremacy is done with them. Did I lie? We all, black in here, black first, we all know what white supremacy does to its tools once they're done using their tools. They break their tools. All I said was, look, we know what white supremacy does when they're done with y'all. And so instead of just taking that on the chin, he reports the tweet to Twitter. And then he goes in to say, Asia is not China, just like Doritos aren't protein. I'm like, look, nigga, what? First of all, Doritos aren't that's not even funny. Like, can we, when did DL Hughley's fat jokes get worse than the chat room of Cred Facts? I gotta apologize to people that be in the chat room of Cred Facts and the people that be in the chat room here. When y'all be saying y'all unfunny fat jokes, all of those unfunny fat jokes y'all tell me in the chat room are way better than this shit. Just like Doritos aren't protein. But the nigga said Asia is not China. Asia isn't China? You fucking idiot. China is in Asia. And I responded by saying, that's like saying Cadillac ain't GM. You can't have one without the other, fool. Show me Asia, I'll show you China. Show me China, I'll show you Asia. So this is what I did. This is what I was able to save before he deleted. Let me show y'all these tweets. This is what I was able to save. He says, I don't know anything about geography. I said, my post made perfect sense. Because the reason why I put up the video, while you're trying to give geography lessons, nigga, I put up a video of Asian women coming to the home of those black women. Not only the home country, not only the home state, but the home neighborhood of those black women. And beat them senseless. So I just said, look, my post made perfect sense because those women came from, since we're talking geography, nigga, talk about them coming to America and treating black women like that in the home that their ancestors built. And on top of that, since you want to be all lives matter, Boule boy, what about Derek Chauvin? In another tweet that he deleted, that I couldn't find because he deleted, he said, I don't need to fact check based on Twitter. And that's where you see my reply up top. You shouldn't need to fact check whether or not China is in Asia. Nigga, you shouldn't need to fact check whether or not China is in Asia. You killing yourself, Smalls. So, if you look to the tweet all the way on the right, he gets me blocked on Twitter. Then after he blocks me, he sets off like another 5 or 6 tweets. Talking about Mexico, Canada, North America, trying to save him, trying to save face. You would think a fat dude would be jollier. Okay, we've heard that joke for how long? And look right here, 17 minutes left. After you says you see him put up a "see you later" rerun. That's this nigga bragging about getting me kicked off Twitter for a week. So at this point, DL Hughley knows I cannot respond. He knows I can't say anything back. He knows I can't go in on him the way I've been going on him. So he gets me blocked and still runs his mouth. Like a corny nigga would. Sign of low to no character. Now we're dealing with character issues now. Now, to me, this goes from jokes to character. You get somebody blocked and you still talking shit. And then he starts talking about Kamala Harris. That's how you know this nigga a coon. You know Kamala Harris is half Asian too, right? Yes, nigga. And that half Asian is what got black people in California mass incarcerated at a higher level than any other attorney general in California state history. You're not helping yourself here, coon man. Yes, I know Kamala's Asian. And look at Kamala's policy on Black America. She put black women in jail for for their children not going to school. She held black people in prison past their prison sentence to fight fires. Kamala Harris threw more black people in prison than any attorney general in California state history. Kamala Harris ran on getting justice for Matrice Richardson when I donated to her in 2008. 2009, you newly political nigga. I know about Kamala Harris. Been following the bitch since 2008. I put money on her campaign back in 2008 when she came to Club Element in Hollywood, California, to do her run for California state attorney general. She was telling us she was going to get justice for Matrice Richardson after she was found after being arrested by the Malibu Sheriff Department and her body coming up missing. When she got in office, she didn't do shit. Same thing in 2016 when she ran for the state senate. She ran on justice for Stephen Clark. Remember the black man that was shot in his grandmother's backyard? And then the minute she got elected, she changed her fucking number, didn't do anything about it. Yeah, I know Kamala Harris is Asian. And she's as anti-black as any white boy that's ever been in her position. Facts. See, here at Hotepish Intelligent Ish Talk, this is about the truth. I'm using D.L. Hughley as a canvas for a greater story, for a greater learning lesson for black people. We gonna tie all this shit in. All right? Then he says, here's some rules to live by, chubby. If you don't want something or is where something is, you should keep your mouth shut. You'll be smarter and skinnier. First of all, I don't want to take advice on being smarter from a man who didn't know China was in Asia. How are you going to tell me about being smart when, one, you didn't know China was in Asia, and two, you're over here caping for Kamala Harris as if that helps your point, nigga. We got 314 people in here, 172 likes. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I know with some whole niggas in here that's going to listen to what I say and take it back to D.L. Hughley. Fine, I'm cool with that too. Because some people ain't got lies of themselves. They got to, man, you see what Dwann said about you. Take it to him. Let D.L. Hughley hear this so he can get a geography lesson. And so he can learn that fat jokes only affect people who don't like themselves. I love myself. So that don't mean nothing. That's why I wasn't rattled. That's why I was able to still clown your formerly funny ass and go about my day without having to go to Massa and say, look what he said about me. D.L. Hughley called me fat. Ooh, D.L. Hughley said, I'ma turn into diabetes. I didn't do that bitch shit. I clowned you back. So basically, my lesson I learned here is professional white ass kissers get mad when you call them professional white ass kissers. That's basically my takeaway. Where's another tweet that I put up? Where is it? See, I cannot find a lot of my shit got deleted. I had to screenshot what I can get because he started deleting my shit. Here it is. You don't have a point because you're a professional white ass kisser. He didn't like that. Your reply to that is, and your fat ass is a professional Hershey kiss eater? I love Hershey kisses. I'm not going to deny that. I love Hershey kisses. I wouldn't call myself a professional Hershey kiss eater. I'm more of a gummy bear guy. I love gummy bears, man. Shit. Part of the reason why my fat stay on so long because I drink too much goddamn soda and I love gummy bears. I haven't drank any soda all month, so that's a good thing. For me, man, soda is my crack. Soda is my crack. I love that shit. I know it ain't good for you, but I love it. So I'm 3 weeks into no soda. See, I don't mind being big. Being big isn't a thing to me. Because I've always been big and athletic. I can hit you with a 15, 20 mile bike ride, come home and be good. I run 2 companies, smoke a lot of weed, professional comedian, professional relationship consultant, IEP consultant. I do a lot with my weight, so I ain't tripping. Furthermore, I don't want to look like a skinny little bitch. So you can't get me with no weight shit. Zen Master, I don't have a favorite soda. I like all them hoes. Yeah, thanks. Say what? Yeah, soda is the devil, man. I haven't drank soda in 3 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, and I'm already down like 10 pounds. Like I lose weight fast. I ain't worried about losing weight. That shit's easy. I'm not a vain person. I love myself, so it's just like I ain't tripping. Hell yeah, I used to be able to dunk. At 325 pounds. I can't dunk no more. I've had 2 knee surgeries, man, so I can't dunk no more. Craig told you niggas on the show when it came to basketball, nigga, I'm the truth. Nigga. I'm the truth on that court. There's a reason why I've coached niggas to the NBA. Because I know what the fuck I'm doing. But that's the whole thing. That's why the number one rule, when we go back to ancient Kemet, the number one rule was, man, know thyself. Because when you know yourself, can't nobody knock you off your square. Now I'm not saying I'm perfect. We all got shit we insecure about. I got my insecurities that they lie around like you do, like we all do. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not going to be fat forever. I'm coming up on 40, so I am going to start to shed a little bit of this shit off because I am coming up on 40. Just for, for the greater good. But I'll tell you this, I had my physical last week. Cholesterol, blood pressure, thyroids, all that shit was good. But I'm not gonna keep rolling the dice. At some point, I'm gonna shave it off a little bit more because I want to keep having good blood pressure and cholesterol. I want to keep that. But in the meantime, I don't care about how I appear to vain people. He said, "Rest in paradise, Escalade." That's crazy. Yeah, rest in peace, Escalade. I was actually at the hotel when Escalade died. Escalade died at the Ritz. It was either the Ritz or the Marriott. That hotel had just opened in downtown LA, across the street from Staples Center, during the All-Star Weekend 2011. I appreciate the Cash App, Troy Gibson. Thank you, brother. I was actually there at that hotel at the time Escalade died. So yeah, rest in peace to Escalade. He was a big nigga's inspiration on that basketball court. But anyway, back to what we talking about. We talking about D.L. Hughley banning me from Twitter because he couldn't handle a few words I had to say. Am I mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I don't harbor. And right now, I still don't harbor any ill will towards DL. I don't harbor any ill feelings towards him. But I always say this. Whenever people in the mainstream do or say something, I always say this. Let's question the source. Always question the source. Who is D.L. Hughley really? Why is he somebody we should be listening to? Let me show you this picture right here. This was, I think I'm bullshitting. Remember I told you I was at All-Star Weekend when Escalade died? Y'all remember when Blake Griffin had that dunk contest where he jumped over the Kia? Well, this is my picture from my seat in the arena when that happened. They don't give niggas who can't hoop, who done coach niggas to the NBA, they don't give you shit like this if you don't know what the fuck you doing. If you just some random fat nigga. Random fat niggas don't get this kind of access. You feel me? Back to the story. Oh yeah, rest in peace Yaphet Kotto too. Yeah, rest in peace Yaphet Kotto. But I was thinking about this shit like, DL, you trying to clown me? And if it's gonna be jokes, let it be jokes. But let me play this right here, this audio clip for you. And again, this isn't about, I'm not going in on his family and nothing like that. Look, much love and respect to his family, to his friends. This ain't about y'all. I'm just using D.L. Hughley as a case study as to the kind of people that the mainstream give the microphone to speak up for black people. This is a clip from when D.L. Hughley was on Sway back in 2015 when he was going in on Bill Cosby. Because you remember when Bill Cosby first started going through his thing, through his issues, D.L. Hughley was the first person to run his mouth and talk the most shit. D.L. Hughley was on CNN, he was on Sway, he was on a Breakfast Club talking to Bill Cosby. Talking about Bill Cosby. This is the same D.L. Hughley who went at Professor Griff after the Nick Cannon incident. This is the same D.L. Hughley that went at Ice Cube when Ice Cube came out with a plan for Black America. That's who this is. Let me play this clip for you and show you the character of this individual. Let me see here. Let me see here. Fair Use Act. Let me change the video screen. Browser share. Boom. Listen up.
Always and the reason it hits home to me is because my youngest daughter said something happened to her, and because it was somebody I like, I didn't believe her. And
y'all hear that? Let me play it again. He said he's basically talking about Bill Cosby and how Bill Cosby could have been or was a rapist and blah, blah, blah. And he's talking about how people don't believe victims. And he uses himself as an example. Bad move, cornflake. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Everybody's doing. How come when people do stuff like this, they're always above reproach, nobody ever believes them, and then it's always a lot of victims? Mm-hmm. And it's always and the reason it hits home to me is because my youngest daughter said something happened to her, and because it was somebody I like, I didn't believe her. And I'll never get that back. She'll never. I'm supposed to protect her, and I'll never get that back.
The man didn't believe. He's basically telling us he didn't believe his own child. The reason why this hurts me is because I worked with children for a long time. And I've been the person that children have come to talk about these type things because their own family didn't believe them. Let's keep listening.
She told her father something and he didn't do nothing about it because it was inconvenient. So I could see how that could play. Right. And there's so many everybody wandering around why women are mad and why people are like that. Look at the shit they go through. Yeah. Like when she said on Color Purple, a girl child ain't safe in the family for the men. That's fucking true. And it's just that he
then goes in and talking about how, play this part one more time.
So I could see how that could play. Right. And there's so many everybody wandering around why women are mad and why people are like that. Look at the shit they go through. Yeah. Like when she said on Color Purple, a girl child ain't safe in the family for the men. That's fucking true.
No, D.L. Hughley, that's not true. This is an issue I have with Black Blue Check Twitter. A lot of these people are degenerates, do degenerate shit, but then want to come out and paint the whole community under one brush. No. This is a you problem. This is a you problem. Me, DwannBrown, do you know how many times? And this is coming from the heart. For real, for real. Do you know how many times I've had to be the person to talk to a mother, a father, a caregiver about a client of mine that they were responsible for that was molested or hurt in some kind of way? I've had this conversations, DL. Unfortunately, too many times. One time is too many. One time is too many. So I'm not going to take that as a community problem, because I've actually been someone who's had to go there with a family member, not my family members, but with family, and be the mediator. I've had to do that. As you see, my company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services, website's almost up. This is what I do. This is what I do for a living. Long before I became an entertainer. All kids need a little help, a little hope, and somebody who believes in them. So yeah, this is what I do. And sometimes people like me have to have those conversations. That hit home when I heard that. Because that's a problem within society. They always want to put these things on black society, what black people are doing. We need people. And again, I'm not piling on DL. This is the learning lesson. Because there's a lot of people out there who have family that are going through shit like this. And they don't report. That's a character issue, my man. I'm sorry. That is a major character issue right there. And these are the people that so-called represents black society? For real? But you want to talk about my weight. D.L. Hughley, the same person. See, this is what happened. Let's go and let's broaden this. Let's take this outside of DL and into a broader perspective. Propaganda. It's all propaganda. Know this, people. When America pushes somebody a lot and gives them a lot of mainstream access, they're not pushing people who have the greater interests of the society at heart. These are people who look at themselves and they're out for self. These are people that are out for self. There's a whole propaganda campaign going on right now about violence against Asians. This is the homepage of the LA Times today. Y'all can go to it right now. Just go to the homepage. What do you see? Violence has Asian Americans questioning how far they've really come. Atlanta spy shooting, they don't say by a white guy. Fear rise among hate crimes against Asians. How Asian women are relentlessly objectified. There's a whole divide and conquer campaign that the people who run the media are on right now. And if you read the ISIS papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she talks about how in Nazi Germany, when she was doing her research, she wanted to know what were the mental conditions of the society that led to the mass killings in the Holocaust. It was the media. Check Joseph Goebbels. Joseph Goebbels was the propaganda minister of Nazi Germany. Joseph Goebbels was somebody who looked towards none other than the United States of America on how to effectively use propaganda to delegitimize a society. This is Joseph Goebbels. What Goebbels said was he saw how the American Negro basically went from a group of people who were looked upon fondly in 1860, 1850, 1870. Black American, people don't know this, but do you know that in 1870, Black Americans were known as reliable, dependable, hardworking, loving, compassionate, caring. But the newly freed slaves, America couldn't continue to dominate a group of people who are now free that have those qualities. So what America did was, and you can look this up in a documentary by Oliver Stone talking about America. I forgot the name of the documentary. I forgot the name of it. Damn it. But there's one called The Presidents that he did, and there's the other one on American history post-Civil War. And they talk about how, like, you know, those Americana stuff, you know, that's where you get your Aunt Jemima syrup, Uncle Ben, Bojangles, all of these propaganda stories started to become a thing in the late 1800s. That became a thing in the late 1800s because America had to delegitimize black people. So they came up with all these artifacts. They started sending out these mailers and all these things talking about how bad black people are, how horrible black people are, how black people ain't shit. Then there was a man who came up with a character named Jim Crow. See, people think Jim Crow was just laws. See, Jim Crow didn't start out as a bunch of laws. It started out as a character. A minstrel show, where he would show black people in a disrespectful light. So, white actor Thomas Dartmouth Daddy Rice, his name was Dartmouth Rice, came up with a character known as Jim Crow. And it marginalized black people. It minimized black pain and suffering. And through that minimizing black pain and suffering, a whole set of laws were created because, hey, these niggas ain't shit anyway. So we may as well propagandize them. And then I mentioned this on my last broadcast about the presidents. We get to 1915. And in 1915, the movie Birth of a Nation was played in the White House. In the movie in 1915 by President Woodrow Wilson. After Birth of a Nation was played, the Klan got revitalized and more black people got killed that week than at any point since the Civil War. Look it up. So Joseph Goebbels, when it came time for him to propagandize the Jews in Germany, he looked towards America on how to effectively marginalize a group before taking that group out. That's what he did. Why am I bringing up Goebbels? What does he have to do with D.L. Hughley in this whole situation? I'll tell you. Because one thing that they do, after a while, you can't have redneck white supremacists saying all these things about black people. You got to get the people themselves to play a part in their own destruction. You got to get the people themselves to play a part in their own demise. For this, I tell you that. I'll tell you another story. So one thing Joseph Goebbels did, if you go back into the 1920s and 1930s, the most popular music around the world was jazz. Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington. Germany banned jazz. But jazz was so dope, the young German population still went to underground speakeasies to listen to jazz. So since Goebbels knew the young people were listening to jazz and he couldn't stop it, what he did was Goebbels created a jazz band, a Jewish jazz band. He named this band the Ghetto Boys. Because remember, ghettos are a product of Europe. They're not indigenous to the United States. Black people didn't create ghettos. Ghettos are conditions that black people have been thrown in since the Great Migration from the South to the North. Something America learned from Germany. Something that Germany learned from Italy. Look up everything I'm saying, nigga. This is history. It's a learning lesson in this shit. When we talk about black blue check Twitter undermining the greater good of black society, I'm giving you historical context going back over 100 years with the two countries, the United States and Germany, that have pushed white supremacy more than any other nations this world has ever seen. I'm giving you niggas some real tangible shit that you can look up as to why D.L. Hughley and a lot of these so-called Negroes that speak for us are dangerous and what their ultimate goal is. You control the opposition. Needy Fuller talks about that. The most sophisticated form of propaganda is controlled opposition. So that's something that that is a Noam Chomsky quote. When I say the most sophisticated form of propaganda is controlled opposition, that's Noam Chomsky. Look up this article for people who want to know a little bit more about propaganda and censorship in the BBC. They talk about this. If you want a quick lesson on controlled opposition. So back to Goebbels. Goebbels he created a band called the Ghetto Boys. And what the Ghetto Boys did was they sang music that was very disrespectful of the Jewish population. They sang music that marginalized the Jewish population as Jews themselves. They sang this over American jazz beats. Don't that kind of sound like hip hop to you right now? The Ghetto Boys were a group of Jews that Goebbels got together to sing anti-Jewish propaganda over American jazz music to marginalize the Jewish people. What happened to the Ghetto Boys during World War II? What the fuck do you think happened? They got sent to the gas chambers along with everyone else. That's what happened. So, what we see here is black blue check Twitter falling on the sword right now for Asian society. A society that's never been in America outside of a few pockets here and there on the side of black society. You got DL putting up shit like this. I don't care who it is. Right is right. Meanwhile, I was looking at this tweet from Tariq, and just in the last month, 3-year-old was pepper sprayed by police. A 9-year-old black girl was pepper sprayed by police. And a 1-year-old black baby shot in the head. Ain't nobody. Do you see any Asians speaking up for that? No. And then there was this tweet put up by Beyonce. Where she's saying the truth sayers for black society is Angela Lying Rye, KRS-Two, Oprah, and Gayle. We saw what the fuck they did to Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. Michelle Obama. And all these people who they're being put out as truth sayers of black society. But every time you read what they talking about, they caping for anybody that's not black. but then they'll turn around and capitalize off the pain of black society. This some shit we gotta stop. This is some shit we gotta stop. And we have the power to stop it. How do we stop it? We stop it through delegitimizing these people. We ain't gotta fuck with these blue checks anymore, man. These people are sent out here by their paymasters to undermine us, black people. It's not just D.L. Hewley. It's most of these motherfuckers. Where's that other tweet? I was looking at some shit on Twitter yesterday. Where the hell that tweet at? By comment. Where is it at? Damn it, I can't find. I thought I had it. I can't find it. Damn it. I cannot find it. Anyway, there was a tweet. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is what black blue check Twitter's up to these days. And I used to love comment, man. Shit. Like Water for Chocolate? I love that beat album. I even fuck with that album that people didn't like. After he got with Erykah Badu. What was the name of the album? Electric Circus? I fucks with Electric Circus. I fucks with Finding Forever. I fuck with Common. But when did this nigga change? It's like the people who are out there that quote unquote speak for us can't wait for the first opportunity to speak up from someone else. And look, I get it. We as black people, we're very humane. We don't want to see nobody get hurt. So why am I bringing this up? If it's okay. I'm bringing this up because the thing we don't get as black society, we don't get reciprocity. We don't get reciprocity. I've never seen these groups come together and speak out when one of their own harms a black person. See, we don't get that. We don't get them to rally for us. When shit happens to us, we on our own. This is what happened right here on screen. For those of you listening on Spotify, I have a picture of what happened when Peter Liang in New York killed Akai Gurley. See, when Peter Liang killed Akai Gurley, they didn't come out and say, hey man, that was fucked up. They came out with signs saying tragedy is not a crime. They're saying Akai Gurley getting killed was a tragedy, but it wasn't a crime. They basically said, hey, look, since white folks get to kill you niggas and it's not a crime, why isn't it a crime when we kill y'all? Look at this. Fair trial for Peter Liang. Look at all these people rallying over a black person being killed by police. Look at this. Meanwhile, when it's us, we out there. When it's them killing us, they out there. I'm not an anti-Asian person. I'm a truth-telling motherfucker. This is how y'all treat us? But we are supposed to rally when white people kill y'all? We didn't even do shit. It was a white man that killed them Asians. Black people, all the shit that they've done to us in their stores, treating us like subhumans. We ain't did this to them. Look at this. Accident is not a felony. Peter scapegoat. Justice for condolences to Kai Gurley, but justice for Peter Liang. How do those two even get put on a sign together? Condolences to the person you killed, but justice for the person who killed him. These are the people that these niggas are caping for. NBC had an article a couple days ago talking about what black people can do to help Asians. Yet, when they're on the hot seat, this is how they treat us. This is how they treat us. So what I'm saying here is this. If this is how they're going to treat us, we have to follow nature. The first rule of nature is what? Self-preservation. You should only show respect towards those who've shown a reason to be respected. So, since we see this is how they move, then believe them. I can't tell whether or not someone's my friend when they're suffering. If someone's hungry and need water, they're going to do whatever they can do to get to eat and drink that water. That's not where you judge a group of people. You judge them when they already have water and food. How do they treat you then? Because when everything is good, when the narrative isn't Asians are targeted, This is how they treat black people. Why is America doing this? America's doing this because white society is going to be the minority in this country by 2050. Probably sooner. So right now they're setting up their buffer classes. Buffer classes have always been a thing. Thank you for the Cash App, Tia. I appreciate that. Societies all have hierarchies. And in order to keep a society running with a few people on top controlling the wealth, they must have protective buffer classes that take bullets. Figuratively speaking, I'm not advocating violence. But they must have buffer classes that take bullets for the dominant class. Europeans understand this because Europe did the same thing back during feudalism. See, all racism is feudalism turned on its side into color. In feudalism, you had your serfs on the bottom, black people. They weren't slaves, but they could be. They got these oddball jobs. Look around. What do you see black people working? You go to a radio station right now playing black music and not have one black DJ. But I guarantee you it's a black security guard. They may have a black female secretary out front so it looks good. But the serfs get all the menial jobs. Then you had your peasants. The equivalent to your peasants back then to now is your immigrant class. And if you're a new immigrant, don't take this personal. You're just a useful tool. You're somebody who the United States has been playing this game with. You're just new. The United States, the former peasant class was the Irish, the Dutch, the Italian, the Jewish. Those were the peasant class right after slavery, right after the Immigration Act of 1881. When they said, bring me your meat, bring me your pork, bring me your this. When the United States started immigrating all of these immigrants from Eastern Europe, they brought them in to be the peasant class. Still ain't shit, but given just enough more than the serfs. Because if the peasants, as long as the peasants know they'll never be serfs, the peasants will do anything they can to protect the king and the queen. So you have people who are serfs in their home country, couldn't get shit cracking in their own country. They got their reparations by coming to America to be the peasant class. Then you have your knights. Your knights is the police, your white militia groups, the FBI, the CIA, sorry ass cops. These cops ain't shit, but they've been given the tools to rule over the peasants and the serfs. That's why you'll see these things, this whole black and brown stuff. See, in America, we ain't the same as black and brown. We ain't black and brown as black. The brown are considered the peasants, not the serfs. Let me give you an example. Think about your job. Go to any job application. What does it say? Bilingual preferred. How do you prefer bilingual motherfuckers when I'm in the United States of America? Shouldn't they speak English? And if you notice on any jobs, who gets paid more? You get paid more if you're bilingual. And if you're from here in LA and you've had any job, half your Mexican friends that you cool with don't even speak Spanish. Them motherfuckers was raised on English alone, but they get that bilingual extra pay. If a job starts out at $50,000 a year for an English speaker, if you're bilingual, you then get kicked up to $56,000 a year. That's America literally in front of our face, giving up another class more advantages, more benefits than us. Here in California, an illegal alien can be stopped by the police and not have a driver's license, and it's illegal for the police to take that illegal alien's car. But if you black and you don't have a driver's license, your car gonna get taken. If you're an illegal, California says it's a hardship, so you can't take their shit. If you're black in America and you're homeless, you can't get stimulus money. But here in California, Governor Newsom found a way to get stimulus money to illegal aliens. That's the racial hierarchy playing out in front of us. Then you get to your nobles, your lords, and your ladies. What America does is it'll promote a few serfs, black people, and give them false noble status. Beyonce, Jay-Z, D.L. Hewley, your NBA players, your mainstream rappers, your mainstream, basically your blue check Twitter. They get the illusion of being elevated to the noble and lord status. Your nobles and your lords are, for the most part, your real nobles and lords are your Mark Zuckerbergs, your wealthy, you're rich, the people with a lot of money, the influencers. And their job is to point all of the ills of the society back down on the serfs. And then you got, and I'll go so far as to say your politicians are noble lords and ladies. Because politicians don't really run anything. They really don't. They're just managing this shit for the queens and the kings. Because the United States is still basically an extension of the British monarchy. Go back and look at that, pay attention to that Revolutionary War. Britain just basically got tired of fighting and said, okay, look, you can have that land. But who owns the Federal Reserve? Great Britain. Who owns every single insurance policy? Whether you're through Allstate, State Farm, Farmers Insurance, who underwrites the policy? Lloyd's of London. Your kings and the queens are the people that we don't see. These are the decision makers behind that push all of these things that we have to deal with. We only see the nobles and the lords and the ladies. We don't get to see the kings and the queens. They don't talk to us. They talk through their nobles. The nobles use the knights to enforce the hierarchy. The peasants, wishing to gain noble status, shit on the serfs. Nigga, basically what I'm telling y'all is we live in Europe. The United States ain't nothing but Europe 2.0, my nigga. And your blue check trolls like D.L. Hewley play a part in this. But they not smart enough to understand because niggas like D.L. Hewley don't know China's in Asia. Of course they don't have any morals. You didn't defend. I'm not even gonna go there. Y'all saw the video. You expect the person with that moral compass to do the right thing? He showed you what his moral compass is, my nigga. So I'm here to take drama and turn this drama into something that we can all learn from. I'm not a dramatic person. I'm a get to the solutions person. I ain't got time to go back and forth with gossip and shit. I'm not going to be going back and forth with no D.L. Hughley. Fuck him. He's a peasant. He's nobody. He's not even a peasant. D.L. Hughley is still a serf just like me in this social hierarchy. He's a serf that thinks he's a noble. Boy, I feel bad for him. Boy, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because of this. This tweet right here. See, it's the reason why he flagged this particular tweet out of all the shit that we went back and forth and said. It's the reason why he flagged this one. Because after he tried to get on me for my weight and say he knows what turns into diabetes, unfunny joke, I hit that nigga with the truth. I know what a self-hating Negro turns into once white supremacy is done with them. When white supremacy is done with its tools, they break their tools. I got that quote from Professor Black Truth. Because it's true. That shit hit that nigga too hard. Because one thing I'll say about foundational black Americans, yes, we have our coons, and yes, DL, you're one of them. You're one of them. This nigga went at Ice Cube. Ice Cube got a plan for black America to get us all straight, including reparations in Hollywood, something that can help DL Hughley out. He goes at Ice Cube. When Nick Cannon interviewed Professor Griff, and Professor Griff told not one lie, D.L. Hughley is the person that went out and went at Professor Griff. He's a puppet. He's a shill. But he ain't the only puppet and shill. Most of black blue check Twitter is. That's most of black blue check Twitter. They're puppets and they're shills. They're puppets and they're shills. They don't have anything to say about what I have on the screen about what happened to how the Asian community rallied around Peter Liang after Akai Gurley was killed. No heat for that. But they got all the heat for a fat nigga like me that called it out. As a comedian, am I worried about what D.L. Hughley could possibly do to me in this entertainment industry? The answer is hell no. Because no human being can close any door that the universe and God opens for me. I love my people. I love black people. I love all human beings. I will say that. I do love all. I love Asians too. But right now, the problem is what black people are facing. We are the people in the greatest need of the greatest help. If you come to this, look, you cannot name one time in United States history that the United States was not violent. going back to 1619, 1776, 1860. This is the same country when Tilden versus Rutherford B. Hayes was a tie in the Electoral College. The compromise, the Southern Compromise was, okay, even though Tilden won the election, we're going to give it to Rutherford B. Hayes so long as you pull protection from Black America and end Reconstruction and basically allow the Klan and white supremacists to do whatever they want to the Negro population. If you leave your home, if you refuse to build where you were born, and you choose to come to a hate-filled place such as the United States, that means you've taken a risk. You've exchanged your safety for the opportunity to gain riches. That's the trade-off when groups decide to come to the United States of America. Because the United States of America has always been violent. The United States of America is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant country. If you're not a wealthy white landowner, male, free of debt, you're further down on the social hierarchy. That's just America. The kings and queens of this land are the wealthy, white, Protestant, Anglo-Saxon males with no debt. If you're not that, you can be a knight, but outside of being a knight, they don't give a fuck about your rights in America. They don't. But black people, we are the ones who've been here since day one. We're the ones who built this motherfucker. We don't have a home country to go to. White supremacy, and I've seen a lot of these niggas on online talking about some, well, white supremacy just ain't black and white. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. White supremacy all has to do with the white population's relationship to the black population. The other people who come in choose to come in as peasants to serve as a buffer class to maintain the status quo. And who better to use to maintain the status quo, to help maintain the status quo? Who better to use than black celebrities? Who better? Their job literally is to undermine whatever we got going. We don't owe these people anything. They chose the devil's bargain. Skip building your own country. Just come over here to a country these niggas already built. And after you get here, we'll accept you the more you shit on the people that we're placing over you. Nigga, this is anthropology. You think I'm lying? Go take a cultural anthropology class and let the white people tell you, since you don't want to hear a black person say this. Do that. do that. That's why you get shit like this from Beyonce. Another shield of white supremacy. Putting these faces out there as if these are the people that speak for black people. Oprah ain't never said nothing constructive for black people. Neither is Michelle Obama. Neither has Gayle. Neither has Angela Rye. Neither has, especially, Me Too Short. What's her name? Too Short? Me Too? KRS-Two? She look like she could sneeze a baseball size booger out her nose. But they want to put these people up as people that speak for us? This here is a lesson on how these people are used overall to undermine us. It's disrespectful. And as black people, we don't have to take this shit anymore. And you don't think I love? Give me some more likes. I got 440 people up in this motherfucker, 370 likes. Give me over 400 likes, please. Thank you. And share it. I care about black people, man. I care about people. But the people on the bottom are the people who need, the people on the bottom are the people who need the most help. I from the bottom as a serf, I can't do anything to help a voluntary peasant. You volunteered to be a peasant in the United States. That's on you. You took that devil's bargain. But you also take the additional income for being bilingual. You take being able to open up a store on consignment where the United States pays you. You come over here all fresh off the boat. You take a few classes. They give you a few classes back in your home country. You get over here. You work a little bullshit job, and then they give you a store on consignment with everything filled up that you don't have to pay back. You took that bargain. You are allowed to have your own neighborhoods that you run and control that we can't move in. As a black person, I dare you to try to get an apartment in Arcadia, California now. I dare you. They run that shit. They don't let black people live there. I dare you. As a black person, go to East LA, where all the quote-unquote brown people are, and see how much of a black and brown coalition you have. I did a broadcast on this very show about 2 months ago on all of the internal gangs within the Los Angeles Sheriff Department. You want to talk about unity? Okay. Let's go there. You want to go there? Let's go there. What about former undersheriff here in Los Angeles, California, Paul Tanaka? Paul Tanaka was part of an internal gang in the Los Angeles Sheriff Department, got sent to 5 years federal prison for obstructing justice in the jail system. What justice was he obstructing? Police abuse of black people. Yeah, nigga, I'm going there. Where are the Asians to go in on Paul Tanaka after what he did to black people here in Los Angeles? Here's a picture of that thug right here. His brother was mayor of Gardena, California, where I live now. That was his brother. Got fucked up on similar racist incidents here in Gardena. when a black person got killed by Guardian of PD and he covered for it. We going all the way there today, nigga. I love my people. Nobody's speaking up for my people but us. If I had an Asian community that was coming out and going in on Paul Tanaka for what he did, then there would be nothing for me to say. If I'm dealing with an Asian community who acknowledges their historical racism towards black people, not only in Asia, but here in the continental United States where we live, they don't say shit. I ain't here to push hate. I'd much rather push love. And I am pushing love. I'm pushing self-love. It's time for black people to love ourselves more than we love white acceptance. More than we love white approval. The FBI was looking into the LA County Sheriff because how the LA County Sheriff was treating black people in them prisons, and this motherfucker got in the way. Goes back to this, huh? The Knights over the serfs. If you understand feudalism, you understand white supremacy. The game don't change. The game stays the same. Only the players change. That's some real shit for your ass. That's some shit for your ass. See, this is them when one of them are killing us. You see how many they got to rally to save one of them that killed us? But for this, they had no heat. This is why I'm doing today's broadcast. A learning lesson. Because I saw some other blue chicks mad that black people. And before I even go there, I want to salute and shout out and show proper love and acknowledgement to the growth of black society. The Moors only controlled the south of Spain and parts of France. They did not control all of Europe. Martel beat the Moors back in France in 20 something like that. I forgot when Martel beat them back. But no, the Moors only went far north as the south of France. They didn't control all of Europe. They could have controlled all of Europe, but they didn't. Northern Europe was the Vandals, the Visigoths, the Franks, the Anglos, the Saxons. It was all them fighting it out with one another. It was not the Moors. The Moors were only in Spain, parts of Italy, the south of France. They were not in Bulgaria. They were not in what's now Netherlands, what's now Germany. They weren't up there. Remember that. The Nordics, that's right. Oh shit, another Cash App. Thank you, John, for the Cash App. I appreciate that, my brother. But I want to salute and shout out Black America. Because 10 years ago, 5 years ago, these tweets that D.L. Hewley would just, we just would have been like, oh, that nigga a coon, and just kept pushing. Now Black America's fighting back. The millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, we got some backbone. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We as black people have grown so much since the death of Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was like a lightning rod for us. It woke a lot of us up. And if you notice, slowly but surely, since the death of Trayvon Martin, black people have been getting more socially conscious, more socially aware, and starting to speak up for ourselves. For a long time, only the hood rats and these sorry-ass celebrities were the ones speaking up for us. And the other 80% of black society with our heads on straight was just quiet. The hood rats are a marginal part of our society. These dumbass celebrities are even smaller part of our society. The overwhelming majority of black society are good people with their heads on straight that love their family, love their kids, love their parents, and want to do right by themselves and by them and their people. That's the majority of us. But the majority of us have been quiet. Over the last 10 years, we've been speaking up more, man. And when you look on Twitter and you see these coons out here saying this bullshit, Black America's like, no, homie. You don't speak for us. And you got people out there on Twitter over there feeling bad. Like I saw one influencer, I'm not going to mention his name, but he was put up a tweet last week talking about Asians and how we need to support them as black people, and Twitter got on his ass. And so today I'm looking at Facebook, and I see the homie D Tubman post a series of videos on her page. She on Twitter. Because I still can't look at Twitter. I just can't say anything back. And it was this particular influencer that's basically going around talking about all the heat that he faced because he's speaking up for Asians and yada, yada, yada. Well, he had to do that because black society, like no time ever before, is on cold. We not taking that shit no more. And these niggas trying to play the middle, y'all gonna be shark food. Because America's full of sharks. And they ain't gonna be there for you when you fall. They are not going to be there when you fall. Thank you, Chrissy, for the Cash App. I appreciate that. I appreciate all y'all. We as black society, we getting on cold like a motherfucker. That's right, Iron Manifesto. Better late than never. Better late than never. Better late than never. Unsunken one said, this ain't musical chairs, nigga, pick a side. Appreciate the Cash App. And I got nothing, man, y'all blessing me today. I love y'all. For real, because I put all this shit right back into the show. Salute Kevin. Say What? DJ Webb, thank y'all for the Cash App donations. Appreciate it. We are not taking this shit anymore. We have to speak up for ourselves. Because if we don't speak up for us, nobody speaks up for us. We can't rely on... See, we used to kind of rely on blue check Twitter to talk for us. We're not doing that anymore. We gotten smarter as a people. We speaking up for ourselves. Because when they kill us, they rarely around the killer, not the victim. We all we got. And when I got into this comedy game in 2010, I like all people, I wanted to be on TV too. I wanted to be on TV. Who wouldn't want them big ass checks the commercials give? Appreciate the Cash App, DJ. We got to speak up for ourselves. Nobody speaks up for us. Nobody speaks up for us, and we're doing that right now. We have to police these entertainers because we're the ones that put them up there. Like I said, of course I wanted some mainstream access, but after a couple years in comedy, when I would see who gets chosen and how they're chosen, I was like, it got to be very glaringly obvious that, yes, I can still make it this way, but for me to make it through the mainstream channels, that means I would have to compromise my integrity. And I wasn't willing to do that. And I'm not shitting on those who are mainstream because, look, not everybody mainstream compromises their integrity. They don't. Look, there are some people out there who don't have nothing to say just because they don't have nothing to say. They're actors. They're basketball players. They don't really. Everybody ain't socially conscious. So I'm not here to judge the people who aren't socially conscious. Look, to each his own. But I am a socially conscious person. Me, DwannBrown, I'm very socially conscious. I've been that way since Latasha Harlins. I've been socially conscious since Latasha Harlins. So for me, again, speaking for me, not downing anyone else, for me to shut up would be menticide. To not speak up for my people will hurt me more than any dollar can help me. I ain't saying everybody got to be Malcolm X. No, that's not everybody's job. But I know myself. I know who I am. I'm somebody, when I see some bullshit happen, I speak up. And I saw very early on when some of the black-owned comedy clubs and black promoters stopped giving me access to stage time as I became more socially aware within my art, within comedy. I've had people who are responsible for booking your main comedy shows, the people who Hollywood call when they want a black comedian in their shit. I've had conversation with these people, and they've all told me the same thing. Not all, but the few I've talked to, I'm not going to air anybody out. But they've told me, like, look, Dwan, I will give you more opportunities, but I don't know what you're going to say. Anybody could be in the audience when you're on stage, and I don't want them to feel the wrong way about something you said. And I'll be like, but it's comedy, it's art. And they're laughing. Like, look, I've never not been funny. I get them motherfuckers to laugh. They basically, look, it's not about the laughter. It's about what you're going to say to get the laugh. So basically, what they were telling me is, I could talk about fucking all day. I could talk about fucking black people up all day. I can marginalize black people all day. Because you know the jokes they like at comedy clubs. Black people do this. White people do that. Black people do this, Mexican people do that. And every time it's something black people do, black people get the losing end of the stick. Every time it's something a white person do, they frame the white person or the non-black person as a winner. Those jokes get all the play in the comedy clubs. Everybody laughs. But the minute I come out talking about Obama ain't shit, and here's why. Oh, no. You can't say that about Obama now. You can't say he didn't do nothing for black peoples. What's wrong with you? Don't be talking about how these comedy clubs don't let black people in on stage. Yeah, I know I'm a black comedy club, and you talking about the white comedy club and how the white comedy clubs marginalize black talent. But I don't want Massa getting mad at me, so don't say those jokes, Dwan. That's the shit I had to deal with when I first started out on comedy. So I knew back then, okay, the only way I'm making it, I got to take the long road. I'm going to have to get my audience on my own. I'm not going to get a mainstream push because I'm not going to tuck in my nuts for a blue check or for some money. I'll gladly do business with anyone. I love all, but I only do business with and I only give respect towards those who respect me. Because a respectable person, there are respectable white people out there. There are very respectable Asians out there, very respectable Latinos out there who don't have an issue with a black person like myself saying what I say, because what I say comes in truth. There are people out there who fucks with the truth, but they're quiet. They're silent. And that's cool. I get it. They want to keep their positions. I get it. But I ain't that nigga. And I'll take whatever comes with that. That's why even though I'm an entertainer and I've always entertained, that's why I have other ways of getting it. I play the drums. And I also got my company, Breakthrough Advocacy Service. Shameless plug. I'm still going to get it. And everything that I do to make money goes back towards healing. Laughter heals. Good communication skills heal. I got testimonials from actual people. I'm not just some internet nigga behind a mic running my goddamn mouth. Check out the reviews parents and people left for me. Because I'm all about healing my people, man. You can heal your people and get it in life and still be positive. You don't have to throw people under the bus and marginalize your people to make it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. There are plenty ways to get it. Like my book coming out. It's almost done. Still editing it. But my book is coming out soon. No time to waste. A self-motivation guidebook. How did I quit the job and be able to get it on my own? I ain't a nigga that just did it and said, look, I'm better than you. I did it, wrote a book, and told you how to get it too. That's who the fuck I am. Your character shows when you're not talking. Your character shows when you just doing what you do. Covering self-motivation, making decisions, transforming yourself. These are different chapters in my book. And again, I also have a workshop coming. Email info@breakthroughas or hotepish@gmail.com to sign up for my self-motivation workshop, where we're going to break down this book and we're going to help you get motivated to get what you got going off the ground so you can win too. It ain't no good in one or two black people winning. All of us need to fucking win. All of us. We dope, goddammit. We invented the light bulb. We invented the train stop. We invented the car. We invented the roller coaster. Nigga, we invented America, god damn it. At least the good parts of it. We dope as hell. I'm not with. We in the position we're in right now as a people, not because we're stupid. It's because we're misinformed and we're misled. Who are the people misinforming us? The media, the people on top. What tools do they use to misinform us? People like D.L. Hewley, the blue checks, all this shit ties in together. They may have plans for our demise, but we got some shit to say about that, homeboy. You right, Sosie? Every nigga is a star. I love that song, Wesley's Theory. Shouts out to Kendrick Lamar. Every nigga is a star. We invented funk, jazz, R&B, country, bluegrass. What? The cotton gin, and Lord knows how many other inventions we invented that we never got credit for. Black people, we invented the fucking super soaker. If you're a millennial like me, what is summer without a super soaker in your hand running up and down the street spraying your homeboys? Trying to spray the homegirl when she got a t-shirt on when you 12 and 13 hoping she ain't got a bra on. That's a little ancient niggas like me did when I was 13. Yeah, I did it. What is life as a 13-year-old black boy without a super soaker? We invented it. We don't need to take no shit from nobody, including these hoe-ass celebrities. We don't need to take shit. We make everything better. I appreciate you, Sean, for the Cash App. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. So that's my rant. That's what I have to say in regards to Democratic shills getting mad when us on the grassroots speak up. Because this is about our survival. And our survival starts with our self-love. And it also continues on with how we address when we're being mischaracterized, falsely labeled, and propagandized against. Appreciate the Cash App, Brian. Appreciate the Cash App, Michael. Man, y'all hooking the brother up today. I appreciate it. Yeah, David, we invented life. If you just want to break it all the way down, black people invented capitalism, communism, socialism. All of these isms were practiced in our indigenous lands long before there was ever a thing called a European. We better pat ourselves on the goddamn back and kick these niggas that ain't fucking with us to the side. So that's what I got to say about this today. Let me see. What y'all talking about in the chat room? We got 466 likes. Shit, thank y'all. Remember to get your t-shirts Hotepish.com/apparel. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Dr. John Henry Clark. I put that on the shirt to remind us of who we are. I fear and may have integrated my people into a burning house. They always want to talk to you about one side of Dr. King. I brought to you the real side of Dr. King when he found out the mistakes that he made and tried to reverse course before they finally killed him. Fuller, Clark, Welsing, Van Sertima, Benyakinen. A lot of people like wearing their favorite athletes on their back. I believe in putting the scholars who put something in my brain on my front. And I'm a big nigga, so when I wear that t-shirt, this is a motherfucking billboard. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of Dr. Ivan Van Sertima for teaching me we came before Columbus. I love Dr. Ben. Look up Dr. Ben's famous speech, Black Man Wake Up. I love how he showed us that we're the creators of civilization. I love Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, how she taught us the psychology behind racism and why it is. I love Dr. John Henry Clark because John Henry Clark taught us how we got in this situation, and he gave us a vision on how to get out of the situation. And I love Neely Fuller Jr. because Neely Fuller Jr. gave us a compensatory concept code on what racism is, which propelled Dr. Welsing to do her work in Germany, who brought us back the information so we don't have to make the same mistakes our ancestors made 100 years ago when we were at the same critical juncture. Learn from history. We don't have to repeat the shit. Remember that. Remember that. You say you need the shirt, go to hotepish.com/apparel and get them. What's crazy is after DL blocked me on Twitter last night, I sold like 9 t-shirts. Like I couldn't respond, but I guess people saw my website on my profile and they went to the website and got some t-shirts. You right, Unsunken One. Rock your history harder than they rock the rainbow. Check us out on Craig Facts today, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Usually, we don't never start on time. Probably ain't gonna start till like 4. But at least be near your computer at 3:30. We gonna come on sometime between 3:30 and 4. Sometime we come on a little later than that. But we gonna talk about a whole lot of dope shit. Black men sitting around discussing our issues and giving solutions. Same thing at hotepish.com. We talk about what's going on, but we also give solutions. And also, go to my link tree. My Spotify show is back, is on the air. I'm on Spotify officially now. Listen to my interview with Bobby Rush, legendary blues guitarist. And my new show, Incense and Ashtrays, where I'm telling y'all music history and I'm interviewing the great legendary artists and also some of today's current artists. Incense and Ashtrays. Let me show y'all how that look real quick. Incense and Ashtrays. Over on Spotify. Y'all see that? Incense and Ashtrays. Y'all see the little spinning cube down there? Incense, letter N, ashtrays. Roll up and listen. Music talk for your ass. Because we have such a dope music history, it has to be explained, and it has to be explained by us, for us. Because when they tell our history, they fuck it up. So we got to be the ones that tell it. So I have taken on the mantle of being someone who tells the history the way the fuck it should be told. And my new book, No Time to Waste, a self-motivation guidebook coming out, giving you my secrets as to how I'm able to do all these things with love. That's a good one, Unsung. I'm gonna do something on Sun Ra. Sun Ra was dope. I'll get to Sun Ra. I got a lot of people to get to on Incense and Ashtrays, but I will get to Sun Ra. What do I know about Max Roach? One of the greatest goddamn jazz drummers ever. Look up Max Roach and Clifford Brown live in the Beehive. I got that album when I was 13, and that's what turned me on to jazz. Cause I was just getting into the drums, new playing the drums. Somebody I knew at my church gave me, rest in peace to John Davis. He gave me an album, Live in the Beehive, Max Roach and Clifford Brown. And I've been in love with jazz ever since. Appreciate you, Molly Mill, for buying one of the t-shirts. Yes, David Brown, we have to have that FUBU mentality all around. But remember this, as I sign off. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. Nobody's perfect. I don't expect perfection from DL. I don't expect perfection from anyone with a blue check. I just want people to do what's right by the people who elevated and put you there to begin with. Don't sell us out at the expense of groups whose ass you trying to kiss. We ain't taking that shit no more. You got a voice, and we got a voice too. So when y'all see these blue checks openly sell us out, continue to grind their ass. They got something to say, you got something to say too. Don't let them sell us out for their own personal gain. Fuck that. We are done being the footstool of America. And the way to stop being the footstool of America is to stand up. They could only stand on us if we bend over and allow them. But if we stand up, straighten our back, put your shoulders back, chin up, they can't do shit with us, man. You're the shit. We the shit. With love. Thank y'all again for listening. Share the shit, like it. I'm out.